Hi and welcome to my Playhouse. And today's video is sponsored by ALLPOWERS, who has sent me this huge box underneath the power station. And ALLPOWERS has sponsored videos before, and that's why we have this very large ALLPOWERS power station here. And ALLPOWERS wanted to sponsor another video. They wanted to send me a smaller power unit, and I thought that wouldn't be very fun. So instead I negotiated them into sending me some very large solar panels that we're gonna be testing out. I do already have solar powers for the ALLPOWERS station. ALLPOWERS power station. That's a mouthful. They're over here. They are 200 watts of solar panels, and I've been using them for multiple videos. Just last week we were looking at a refrigerator, and they powered that refrigerator without any issue whatsoever. Other brands are of course available, and I have done those too, but today it's the ALLPOWERS, so we're gonna be messing around with those. And I'm gonna mix that up with doing a little bit of work on my pool here. I don't think I have shown this on YouTube, but I have shown it on Patreon. I've kind of built a little frame to go over the top of the pool, and I have a top, a semi-transparent top that I want to put on here and what do you call that, staple down, so that it's easy to get on and get off. I usually take it off and I lean it against the hinge over here, and yeah, I think I need to do something with the edges here. So I have my wonderful Ryobi tool. I have a planer, I think that's called, that we're going to be planing this a little bit. And yeah, we can use the ALLPOWERS power station with the new solar panels, which are 400 watts. Also, I have a heating system for my pool here. It's this wire that is right here. And the pool heating is about 260 watts. So with 200 watts of solar panels, it drains the power out of the power station. But with 400 watts, guess what? We can run that all day. So we're gonna do that as well. So let's see, what power do we have on here? It's full. Okay, that's now fun. We're gonna connect it to the heating and let it drain a little bit so that we can power it up again. This is the way that I leave the pool at night. Well, actually not. I have these foam boards. This is actually to put beneath a pool so that you don't get damage through hot things coming up from the bottom. And I put those on top at night because they insulate a little bit. So I put those on top of this, and they float, so there's no problem. And then I put this on, this piece of plastic is on here, because then in the morning I remove the insulating layer here, and I leave the plastic on so that it can collect the heat from the sun, but not. You'll see some bird has left its calling card right there, and I don't really want that in the pool, so that's why I leave the plastic on. And we have had awesome weather here in Denmark for the longest time. So the temperature in the pool is right now almost 26 degrees. And I do have a tiny leak somewhere. So I did have to fill in probably 50 liters of water this morning. Maybe only 40, but yeah, so I've added a little bit of cold water, so it was even warmer. Yesterday it was almost 28 degrees, which is very nice. So yeah, we have the ALLPOWERS power station right there. We're gonna pick up our plug. We're gonna connect that, some random connector. There's 4 to pick from. There's that one, and then we'll press AC there. And we can see how much this draws. It's a resistance, well, 269 for the floor heating in the pool. So 269 watts of AC power going that way. So of course the 200 watt solar panels is not able to supply that. So let's unbox the 400 watts solar panels. So there's a little package right here. That's because I asked them to send some splitters. Just see those first. They should be very simple. It's to parallel solar connectors, so I can have well, actually 3 sets of solar panels coming in and becoming parallel. I don't think I can parallel these 400 watts with the 200 watts because of different voltages, but we will measure that. But I do believe that I read in the documentation that they run completely different voltages. That is most likely a no-go. I think it's a box in a box, but I'm not sure. Yes, it's a box in a box. So there is one box, and then there is another box. And the next box is nicely branded. It's a tight fit. They are heavy, by the way. So thank you very much to ALLPOWERS for sponsoring this video and sending this awesome product for me to expand my ALLPOWERS power station with. I thought this was more fun than getting one of their smaller units for review. So, and they agreed. The packaging is 20 kilograms. So I said it's kind of heavy. Here it is, solar panels, lots of insulation. They're very heavy. Okay, there's a big pouch here for stuff. Power cables. This cable will go right into the ALLPOWERS. These are the MC4 connectors coming out of the solar panels. Some of the stuff to keep them dry. Other power stations has other plugs, so this one can go from the ALLPOWERS connectors here, go in there, and then they can be converted to this connector, which can then be converted to this connector, which is the connector that I have in my 2 other power stations. Not that we're going to be needing them in this video, but yeah, that's very neat. Thank you. And we have the manual here, and the manual is available in multiple languages, of most which I can't even read. But I did find that there was English here, so that's going to be the most helpful one for me. And there's a nice explanation, a diagram of parallel connections and serial connections. And you have to make sure that the power station can manage the voltage that you are trying to feed it with, because these solar panels, they have a voltage each, and I think it's over here. So these solar panels has an open voltage of 45 volts, and I believe that the ALLPOWERS has a, was it 70 volts it could handle? I forget, I need to check that. But normal working voltage would be 37.4 volts, so that's ever so slightly lower. But if the solar panels are not connected to anything, you can expect the 45.3 volts up there. And 11.45 amps. Short circuit. Yeah, 400 watts is a lot of power actually. So I think we should set these up, because I want to see how they look. This can wait for a little bit. I need to find a good spot on the lawn for them. So quite humongous panels. Yeah, they're big. So yeah, they look like this. Each panel has like a stand that you pop out so that it sits on that. And over here we have the connections coming out of the panels. They are here, and I can connect those. I might have or maybe I can move the power station a little closer. Otherwise the wiring might not be long enough. So, yeah, they're huge. I hope they're not shattering the smaller panels back here. I actually have some wire extensions here. I think they're 1.5 meters, so I might need to borrow those. So yeah, very cool. So the 400 watts panels here, you can see there is 5 panels there, and on the 200 watts panels there's 4 panels, and these are higher, but I think they're about the same width as the ones behind there. So they have added some height to here, and they have added an extra panel to double the capacity of them. We do not get 400 watts of solar power of 400 watts of solar panels here in Denmark. The sun is not perfect for this, but we might get close. So to connect it to the power station, I need this connector, and I need those to go in here. So it's extremely simple. Just connect those. It says click. The other one says, didn't say as much, click. And now power is coming out this end, and now we just need the power station. Okay, so I've been waiting a little bit for the percentage to go down so that we can actually see what power we get in when we do this. So I'm going to turn off AC and disconnect the power plug and move it over to the solar panels. Today is a little bit clouded, but the sun has just decided to come out and play. So we can try and pop this in. We want to see what's going on. So let's try and power these in. Put these in. There. Oh, come on. 238.41. So yeah, I knew that I was not going to get 400 watts out of this. They are ever so slightly in the wrong direction as well, but they are rather big to move, so you kind of just want to have them pointing in the direction where they will get the most sun along the day. You can move them every few hours if you want to, but yeah, it's a bigger task than the smaller ones, which is already, well, the sun comes up over here behind the tree in the morning, and then it moves all the way around here and goes down over there at night. So it's a struggle to keep up with the solar panels during the day. So right now it's kind of pointing that way, and the sun is that way. So yeah. So that little move was definitely worth it. You can see well, more or less we got 100 watts more. So that's a big difference, right? So I am a little bit curious to what voltage we see here. So we're gonna unplug it. We're gonna try and measure the voltage. I mean, I don't know what's plus and minus, doesn't matter. So we are getting 41.5 volts out of this. So behind me I have the 200 watt panels as well. So if I just get the connector for that, we can also see how much voltage we get out of those, and that's about half. That's about 20.14. So okay, so the 400 watt panels gives out twice the amount of voltage as the 200 watts. So for that reason, it's not gonna work with adding these in parallel. So again, I have plugged in the connector for the heating of the pool to the power station. We're gonna turn that on. There. and it's gonna power up, and it's gonna show me about those 260 something, 69, yeah. And I have the connector here for the solar panels, which comes this way. I have extended them with those about 1.5 meters, and they go into the solar panels there. So I think we're good to go, and see this working. So pop that in. Funny enough, the output power went up, so maybe the voltage went up, and therefore it's drawing a little bit more power. Okay, so I was gonna show you how what's going on with the charging, and I was gonna use this for showing the in power and the out power, and yeah, it was totally flat, which you can see it's a 4% battery power. So, but we can have just charge that on the power station here. I have turned off the AC power at the moment because I was curious to how much power this draws, and it's taking in 25 watts at the moment. I started out with a old USB connection to a USB-C connector, and that would power it with like 8 watts, but a USB-C to USB-C is doing 26 watts at the moment. So yeah, there's a big benefits of that, but I need to install the app on here and hope that works. And it's to get it up and running. Maybe you can see something, maybe you can't. It's difficult to film, but we're already at 96% power again. Right now we have an input of 247 watts, and I am using 295 watts. This works well. I was gonna play around with this planer and using it on the power bank, but I realized that, well, it's actually a battery driven one, so that's not gonna be any good for this video. Well, yeah, that was a brain fart right there. Okay, this does not have much with the power station or the solar panels to do, but well, it's continuation on the pool project, and I just planed off the corners here. Yeah, I should start a woodworking channel as well, and I'm gonna glue and staple. I bought a stapling gun here with a bunch of staples and a top, a semi-transparent one that's 3 times 4 meters, should be quite enough. And I'm gonna put that over, and then I'm gonna glue each of these and staple the top on and hope for the best. Yeah. Okay, so this is running great. I'm using 280 watts, most of which is coming from the solar panels, but well, we have kind of cloudy right now, so it's a little bit less. Most likely a lot less. I am working on the pool cover here. So what I've done is, well, I removed you saw that, I showed you that, and then I'm gluing on. Well, I actually had all of these corner pieces off because when I made them I didn't have any wood glue, and then it turned out that I actually had some wood glue, but just didn't look the right place. So I was up looking for something else because I wanted to glue the top on the sides and staple it in, and I've been doing that using plenty of these Pro Builder staples. They're not pro at all, they're pretty regular. So I'm stapling it all the way around, tightening it in, not drum tight, but still it's gonna be good, I guess. I'm gonna run into trouble if water gets on this, so I need to have something sitting in the middle of it to make sure that the water runs off of it, otherwise it's not gonna last very long, it'll just break. This is a cheap top, it's 49 Danish kroners, which is cheap. Well, it's not the cheapest, but it's cheapish. But I left the last side over here so you can see what I'm dealing with. This is the wood, and I'll just put some glue on here and I'll staple it down and it will be good. And yeah, I hope. and then I'm gonna cut off the excess because yeah, that looks stupid. There we are. I've stapled it on, glued it on, cut off all the excess. So yeah, I'm gonna staple it on the on the bottom as well. Okay, we are getting really good solar right now. So I just saw 378 watts. That's the record that I've seen so far. And the sun is kind of, oh, I haven't, is right above, so it's perfect right now. So after me paddling around in the pool for a little bit, it has actually charged the tablet up to 100%. Right now we have about 300 watts coming in and 171 watts going out. So I'm gonna disconnect the tablet and we should see that go down a little bit. And I'll turn off the DC and it goes down to 268 watts. So that is perfect. And we have 300 over, a little bit over 300 watts coming in. So charging again, awesome. So I'm looking at the specs for my power station, and the one that I have here is the ALLPOWERS S2000. It can do 2000 watts out, a surge of 4000 watts, and it has a capacity of 1500 watt hours. Awesome. Input, it can AC charge 400 watts, and then it can solar input charge 500 watts, and it can take DC in 12 to 70 volts, 18 amps max. So I think I might be able to put the 400 watts and the 200 watts in series and see if I can, what voltage I get, and try and power the ALLPOWERS with that. So here we have the 200 watts in front and the 400 watts behind, and the sun is at an angle. You can see there's a tiny light strip right there, so they're not blocking each other, and we're gonna put them in series here. I have disconnected them over at the power station so that I can measure the voltage first. So let's see if we do this and we do this. Now we have put them in series. So we have voltage, we have the connector coming in here. Now there should be a bit more voltage. Yeah, we have like 60 volts, so that should be good. It's under 70 volts, so I hope I don't burn off everything now. There, it's connected, and it's making new noises, and we are getting 300 watts right now. That's probably okay because the sun is not up, or it's clouded at the moment. Oh, impossible, this thing to show you. Yeah, of course, when you're gonna film something like that, it's gonna be overcast for an extension of time, but it's overcast and we are still getting in over 330 watts. So yeah, we are definitely getting in more power than the 400 watt panels could have done by themselves. So those two panels in series does work. The power station can do 500 watts, and so if max performance came out of this, which I would probably never see, yeah, it might be too much for it. I hope the sun will come out and we'll get some really good numbers. Okay, 390 watts. Okay, it's a bad test because it hasn't peaked over 400, but I thought that I would try and disconnect it and we'll see what the 400 watt panels will do by themselves. So we'll just disconnect this. It's just gonna take a second. There, and now it's only the 400 watt panels connected, and that is doing 291 watts. So we'll try and disconnect that again and put the other one in. There. It's very quick. It'll, yeah, 382. Well, I can't see if you can see it. So 391. Oh, 92. 395. 398. Come on, 400 and something. Come on. I saw 400 for a split second when the camera was off. And now it went down again. Yeah, 404. Do you see it? I hope you see it. 406. Come on, 410. Yes. 415. 417. Wow. I made it, finally. I've been waiting like 20 minutes and it has been overcast and overcast and overcast. So, yeah, we got over 400. That took a while. So I have those 200 watts from a competing company, and if I really wanted to push it, I could parallel those with these. That would get me some more amps. But then it would supply more amps than these, and they would get out of balance. So I don't think that's a good idea. Also, the competing brand, I looked into it, and it would have been fun to take these 200 watt panels and parallel them with these 200 watt panels. But the competing brand doesn't take more than 200 watts going in. So yeah, it's only the ALLPOWERS that gives me that option. So this looks awesome. 600 watts of solar panels on the ALLPOWERS S2000. So my pool cover got this far. I have been stapling on the sides and the bottom and the inside. I need to do some more, but then I overheated and I needed the cooling. So I stopped that project to go into the pool to use what it's there for, to cool down. And I would like to say thank you very much to ALLPOWERS for sending these awesome big solar panels for me to play around with. And as always, there are links in the description if you want to check them out. See the pricing. They are, yeah, it's an investment, I must say. Foldable solar powers are not that cheap, I must admit. But together with the ALLPOWERS, if you need this for something like camping or in a mobile setup, this could just be the thing that makes it all works. My mess over here. Doing a video. Now I need to clean up for half an hour. The underfloor pool heating in there takes 300 watts of 269-ish. And it's too much for the small panels, and it's most of the time also too much for the large panels, but the combination, well, it does really well. So thank you very much for watching my videos. Do subscribe to my channel so that you can see me again, and have an awesome day. Bye bye.